Hey everybody, it's me Arlene, Delicious Delights. So in today's video, I want to talk about some new fragrance releases for the end of 2024 and also for 2025. So I've done a video about this new fragrance, new perfume releases not too long ago. It was on the 28th of November, so about 2.5 weeks ago. And according to parfumo.net, on the 28th of November, there were 6,145 new perfumes. But just 2.5 weeks later, now there are 6,633 new releases. Just in that small period of time, 2.5 weeks, 488 new perfumes have been announced to be released in the near future. So there are so many. So I chose 18 perfumes that I'd like to mention that will be released the end of this year or maybe next year, in the near future at least. I can't talk about 488 new perfumes. That would just be insane. But I chose 18 today that I thought were the most interesting, and also I think you guys will also find them interesting as well. I guess at this point, with 6,000 plus new perfumes being released, you kind of just gotta pick and choose which ones you want to get your nose on, which ones you're interested in, because keeping up with that many new perfumes in a year is almost near impossible. So I'm curious for the coming, say, 5 years, maybe it'll be like 10,000 new perfumes in 1 year, which is super overwhelming, but at the same time, it does give me something to look forward to, especially with the ones that I'm most interested in. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword where it feels overwhelming and too much, and I feel like I'm drowning in new perfumes, but I also, on the other hand, I feel like I'm excited about some new perfumes, new releases, and flankers of some old favorites as well. So today, I'll talk about 18 new releases. Some of them might already be released. It just depends on where you are, your location. I have them in categories of affordable / celebrity scents, designer scents, designer exclusives, and niche scents. And then at the very end of the video, I will mention my top 3 that I'm looking forward to the most for the end of this year and the beginning of 2025. So let's begin with the affordable scents / celebrity scents. The first one here, well actually, I have 3 here from ZARA, 2 of which I have mentioned in a previous video in my ZARA first impressions video, but I'll still mention it anyway in this video. The first one, we have ZARA Immortal Vanilla, a new perfume, I guess part of their vanilla collection. So this one has some notes. In the top, coconut, jasmine, salty notes. Middle notes are caramel and incense. Base notes are amber, vanilla, and cashmerean. So this one looks like it's going to be a sweet, gourmand scent with the coconut and the caramel, maybe some smoky notes in there too, like a smoky, sweet vanilla gourmand. So that's the first one. Next one is ZARA Dark Romance, which I have mentioned in a previous video. And this one apparently is a dupe or a clone, or it's inspired by Bianco Latte from Giardini di Toscana, and also Lataffa Eclair. By the way, I will be reviewing Eclair sometime soon, so stay tuned for that. But anyways, the notes listed for Dark Romance. In the top, there's jasmine. Middle notes are tonka bean and whipped cream. And base notes are toffee and vanilla. So I have tried this in store. It did remind me of other perfumes, other sweet gourmand caramel vanilla scents. With Eclair in particular, I found Eclair to be extremely thick and dense, like an actual melted thick caramel, but I found the texture of Dark Romance to be very thin and kind of watery, which it still smelled very nice and pleasant and familiar, but it just didn't have that heavy gourmand feeling to it as Eclair does, and also Bianco Latte. But those were just my first impressions. Next one, ZARA Deep Temptation. That's another one that I also mentioned in that video, which I can link down there if you guys want to see that. So this one comes in a really nice deep royal blue bottle. The notes listed: blood orange, coriander, jasmine, saffron, amber, and dark woods. But then on the box of Deep Temptations, it says mineral notes, immortal, violet leaf, and dark woods. So again, I have tried this one in store, and this one gave off this kind of stingy alcohol kind of scent in my nose where I felt it here. But then that quickly went away, and I was left with this kind of minerally, salty, kind of metallic, aquatic scent with some musk. It was all right, but not my cup of tea. Again, it was just my first impression of it, so I didn't really test it properly, but just on my first sniff, I thought it was just not my thing. I didn't like that stingy feeling, and it was musky. It's just not my style, not my taste at all. But anyways, that's another one from ZARA. There's a new scent from LUSH called Super Milk, and apparently this is a re-release. It was released last year in 2023, I believe part of their community thing. I'm not sure what it's exactly called, but now it's back. Super Milk. It has some notes of Litsea cubeba, tonka bean, and vanilla. I have heard a lot about this Super Milk scent and also product. There is one product in particular, that conditioner, the spray conditioner. I am curious about it because around this time of year in the winter time, I'm just dry everywhere. My skin is dry, my hair feels dry, and kind of, I don't know, it just feels weird. So I am kind of in the market to try to find a good leave-in conditioner. And I'm thinking maybe Super Milk from LUSH will do the trick. Have you guys tried Super Milk? Let me know in the comments. I think there's also a body spray of Super Milk, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So yeah, that's another one, another new release that I'm curious about. And then there's one celebrity scent, Sabrina Carpenter Sweet Tooth Me Espresso. And so this one has notes in the top of espresso, cappuccino, and cocoa powder. Middle notes are night blooming jasmine, vanilla orchid, and biscotti. And the base notes are caramel, sugared amber, and whipped cream. So this sounds like a delicious gourmand coffee floral sweet scent. I haven't tried any of the perfumes from Sabrina Carpenter. Recently though, I tried one of the body mists because it just launched, as far as I know, and as far as I can tell, it just launched in the Netherlands at the Kruidvat, which is kind of like a drugstore in the Netherlands. And so I tried the body spray, and I don't remember the name of it, but it had a brown packaging. And it was nice. It was a nice, sweet, caramelly, chocolatey vanilla scent, but I am curious about her perfumes. Me Espresso, Sweet Tooth Me Espresso, which of course is her most popular song, I think. So yeah, that rounds out the affordable scents and celebrity scent. So let's move on to the new designer perfumes. First of all, Marc Jacobs Daisy Wild Oh So Intense. This one has some notes in the top of banana blossom, jasmine, tuberose, amber, and sandalwood. Sorry, just the notes in general, they aren't in any pyramid. And so the thing about this Daisy Wild Intense, or Oh So Intense, is I think the bottle is absolutely beautiful. I thought the original one was also beautiful, but this one is just as beautiful, maybe even a little bit more beautiful. The banana blossom note in the original I thought was really interesting, giving kind of a creamy, silky, smooth kind of texture to the scent. Yeah, I think it's one of the better releases of this year. I really liked it, but not enough to get a bottle. But who knows, I might change my mind at some point. But this one I'm super curious about. And again, that bottle is everything. So next up, this is another bottle that I'm just already in love with. PACO Rabanne Femme Couture. So this one has some notes of iris, incense, and vanilla balm. I doubt that's a full list, but yeah, this one has a black fur coat, a furry, fuzzy coat. It is so adorable. I love the original bottle design from the first Fame and all of the flankers. I just think that they are so cute, collectible kind of things, cute to have in your collection, cute to look at. I don't own any though. I don't own any Fame perfumes because I think they're all right perfumes. They smell nice and pleasant, but I just didn't really feel like I needed to own a bottle of it, even though the bottle is so cute. And this is definitely one that stands out for me because of that bottle with the furry coat. It's just so adorable. I think some people might also find the bottle to be super tacky, but for me, I think it's so adorable. Next up, Escada Bali Paradise. So this one comes in a bright dark orange bottle. Some notes: pitahaya, which I believe is dragon fruit, bird of paradise flower, and sandalwood. And the bird of paradise flower is absolutely stunning. This perfume sounds nice. I don't have a lot of notes to go on here, but in general, I do enjoy Escada perfumes. They do release at least one limited edition scent for summer, but I think last year they released quite a few, like 2 or 3. But yeah, this Bali Paradise has the main note of dragon fruit, pitahaya, which I have tried a dragon fruit and it actually didn't have much taste at all. But I have heard other people say that you have to get like a certain type of dragon fruit and it's super sweet and delicious. But the one that I have, I got it from a market stall in Rotterdam, and I was so excited to try it because it was my first time, and then the colors looked like it would be like a sweet, juicy, delicious fruit. But when I tasted it, it just didn't have much flavor at all. Anyways, Escada Bali Paradise is another one that I'm looking forward to. Next up, Armani My Way Ylang. And so this one is, of course, a flanker of My Way. And the notes listed: top notes, bergamot, orange blossom. Middle notes are mango, coconut, tuberose, and ylang. And base notes are cedar and cedar, vanilla, musk. So this one looks like it's going to be a tropical, fruity, floral scent, maybe like a beachy summer kind of perfume. I do enjoy many of the My Way perfumes. In general, I think the collection is just super pretty, easy to wear, everyday kind of perfumes. Not so complicated, but very pretty nonetheless and very versatile. So this one I'm also looking forward to. And then we have Givenchy Irresistible Nude Velvet. So of course this is another flanker of Irresistible. And this one has some notes in the top of neroli, sweet almond, and ambrette absolute. Middle notes are damascena rose, rosewater, and iris. Base notes are cedar and musk. So this is another collection where I think a lot of their perfumes are pretty, but I don't own any myself. So I don't know, maybe one day I'll find one that I really like and one that I feel like I would need to own. But so far, they just really aren't for me, but I want to give them a try anyways and test them out. So that rounds out the designer perfumes. Let's now talk about the designer exclusive collection perfumes or private collection, and also I will talk about some niche as well. The first one here is Armani Privé Haute Couture Angers. Hopefully I'm saying that right. And so this one has some notes in the top of basil bergamot. Middle notes are rose, geranium, iris. Base notes are cedarwood and white musk. So this one has an absolutely stunning bottle. I do love the bottle designs in general with Armani Privé, but this has a lot of color with all that nice pink color. It just stands out. And because of that, I am curious about this scent. Next up, we have Tom Ford Effing Fabulous Parfum. It comes in an opaque black bottle. And so I don't think this is a complete list of notes, but there's leather, amber, tonka bean, fir, balsam, absolute in the notes. So I wasn't a huge fan of Effing Fabulous. Maybe it has to do with when I was testing it for the first time. I do have a story about that. Like, she sprayed it once on a test strip and gave me the test strip so I could smell it. And then I asked if she would spray my skin, my hand here, and she refused. So I was kind of put off by that, and then maybe I associate that scent or this scent now with that event, the thing that happened, and I kind of got a bad taste in my mouth. But anyways, Effing Fabulous Parfum. Hopefully I can give it a try. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. From the Dior private collection, we have Bois Talisman. And this one has some notes of vanilla, sugar, and cedarwood. So I assume that's also not a full list of notes. Francis Kirkshon is the perfumer of this one. And every time I hear he releases or creates a new scent, I am automatically more interested in the scent because I do enjoy many of his perfumes. 540, his most popular scent right now, is one that I really love and I've loved for a long time. Even though it's hyped to death at this point, I still really love it. So this one sounds really nice. A sweet, woody, gourmand scent. Moving on, we have a scent from Guerlain. It's called Rouge Bonheur. And this one has a gorgeous red bottle with a snake wrapped around it. It's very, very fancy, but the price is also very fancy as well. It's a limited edition. It has 24 karat gold in it, also with Swarovski crystals. There's only 2,100 pieces available of this one, and it costs 860 euros. So it's a very pricey scent, but it's gorgeous. And some notes in here are ginger, rose, cedarwood, and white musk. I think this would be a great display piece. Very eye-catching, very bright. The design is stunning, and I really, really love the bee bottles from Guerlain. And the last niche scent here, we have Creed Fragaria. This one has some notes of bergamot, mandarin, pink pepper, and Sichuan pepper in the top. Middle notes are strawberry, violet, and orris, and the base notes are praline, patchouli, fir balsam, cedarwood, and vetiver. So this one, I'm assuming is a fruit chili scent, with strawberry being the most dominant, I hope at least. I am really, really into patchouli scents right now, especially fruit chili scents. Patchouli on its own can be very challenging. I'm not really into that heavy, like 70s flower child, flower power kind of patchouli, but when it's mixed with other sweet fruity notes or even gourmandy notes, then I really like it, especially in the colder weather. It just has this really big, kind of heavy, deeper presence to it, if you know what I mean. So I'm hoping this is going to be a strawberry fruit chili scent. I'm very curious about it. It sounds really, really nice. And finally, we are at the top 3 perfumes. These 3 are the ones that I'm looking forward to the most out of all of these scents. In the third spot, we have Burberry Her Intense 2024. So there was a version of Burberry Her Intense from 2019, and I actually owned a bottle of that and I really liked it, but I didn't reach for it very often, so I let it go. But I thought it was a really nice scent. So this new version has different notes to the old version from 2019. This new version, the 2024 version of Her Intense, has wild strawberry, orange blossom, and amber wood. So I guess they're not the same perfume, but the bottle of this one looks similar to the Burberry Her Elixir from 2022, which has this kind of light pink, blush pink, opaque bottle. And I also really liked that version of Burberry Her as well. So I'm curious about this one. I pretty much like all of the flankers and the original of Burberry Her, so this sounds really, really nice. In the second spot, we have a new fragrance from Mugler. It's called Angel Nova EDP Fruitee, and apparently this is a refillable bottle. And so this one has some notes of raspberry accord, rose accord, akigala wood. And also on the website, it says there's raspberry, lychee, damascena rose, akigali wood, and benzoin. So I haven't heard anyone talk about this scent yet, but it is already on the Mugler website. Luckily for me, I have a sample of this one and I have already tested it. So I'm going to do a first impressions video on this scent very, very soon. So stay tuned for that. But the bottle looks the same, very similar to the other Angel Nova scent, and every time Mugler comes out with a new perfume, I'm always excited because I really, really like the house of Mugler. I liked the house even more back in the day, in the earlier years when they came up with Angel, and it just seems like all of their perfumes around that time were just super daring and different from everything else. Alien and Womanity, there's just so many from the house that I love. The stuff that they put out now I think isn't as good as their older stuff. It just isn't as daring and weird and quirky, but I'm always very curious about them anyway. And finally, in the first spot, the number one perfume that I'm looking forward to the most out of all of these scents is Prada Infusion de Rhubarbe. So this one is part of their Infusion collection, which I think is extremely underrated. There is one from last year that was released, Infusion de Gingembre, which I also think is super underrated. And I blind bought that one last year and I'm in love with it. And I don't really hear too many people talk about it, but that's okay. But this one sounds really nice. It has some notes, green mandarin, rhubarb, and musk. In general, I find this collection to have very beautiful, wearable, easy to wear scents. I really love the note of rhubarb in perfumes. My favorite is probably Joe's Rhubarb from ZARA with the collaboration with Joe Malone. But also I like the one from Hermes, Eau de Rhubarbe Écarlate, which I kind of want to add to my collection at some point because it's really nice, sweet, fresh rhubarb scent. But this sounds really nice as well. Infusion de Rhubarbe. I'm hoping it's going to be a juicy, realistic rhubarb scent. I don't smell rhubarb scents or other people wearing rhubarb scents out in public very often. So yeah, this one I am very, very curious about, and I cannot wait to give that a try. So yeah, that was my long video of 18 new perfume releases for the end of 2024 and 2025. If you guys want to let me know down in the comments which ones you are looking forward to the most, I would love to hear about that down in the comments. So thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you very soon in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.